At 79 years old, most people are asked to slow down. Life begins making quiet negotiations with them. The body asks for rest. The world asks for respect. Time asks for surrender. But some people spend so many decades fighting that they forget surrender was ever an option. Cher has spent nearly her entire life refusing things. Refusing poverty. Refusing obscurity. Refusing the expectations that other people try to place around her. For more than half a century, she has existed as something larger than a celebrity, larger than a singer, larger than an actress, larger perhaps than any single identity could comfortably contain. To millions of people around the world, Cher became a symbol of reinvention, a symbol of survival, a symbol of endurance. The woman who always found a way back. The woman who outlasted trends, outlasted critics, outlasted expectations, outlasted entire generations of fame. And yet, there is something deeply unsettling about symbols, because symbols are rarely allowed to be human. The stronger someone appears, the more difficult it becomes for the world to imagine them hurting. The more resilient someone seems, the easier it becomes to forget how much resilience actually costs. People celebrate survival. They rarely ask what survival demanded in exchange. And that may be the hidden story of Cher's life. Not the awards, not the records, not the sold-out arenas, not the red carpets, not even the extraordinary career that transformed a young woman with impossible dreams into one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. The hidden story is the cost, because every life accumulates losses, every life accumulates grief, every life accumulates battles that no audience ever sees. The difference is that most of those battles happen in private. Cher's happened beneath the spotlight. For decades, the public watched her become larger. What they rarely witnessed was the emotional weight required to carry that size. And now, at 79 years old, a question hangs quietly over everything she has built. A question that feels bigger than fame, bigger than success, bigger than legacy. What happens when someone spends a lifetime being strong for everyone else? Who carries them when they finally need carrying? It is a question many people avoid because it forces us to confront something uncomfortable. The people we admire most are not immune to pain. The people who inspire us are not protected from heartbreak. And the people who seem indestructible are often carrying burdens nobody fully understands. Perhaps that is why this moment feels different. Because age has a way of changing the conversation. Not dramatically, not all at once, but gradually. The future becomes smaller, memories become larger, the victories remain. But so do the regrets, the applause fades, the relationships remain, and the questions that once seemed distant suddenly become impossible to ignore. Questions about family, questions about time, questions about the things money cannot repair, questions about the people we love. Because eventually every life arrives at the same destination, not success, not fame, not power. Meaning, and meaning has very little interest in trophies. Meaning lives somewhere else entirely. It lives in relationships, in forgiveness, in sacrifice, in the people whose names never appear on marquees but whose absence can change everything. The world knows Cher as an icon, but icons do not experience life as icons. They experience it as human beings. They experience fear. They experience uncertainty. They experience uncertainty. They experience the quiet moments that never make headlines. And sometimes, those moments reveal more about a person than decades of public success ever could. The real story was never about how famous Cher became. The real story may be about what she was trying to protect, what she was trying to hold together, what she refused to give up on, and why some battles become harder, not easier, after you have already conquered the world. Because there are victories that money can buy, victories that talent can earn, victories that determination can force into existence. But there are other battles that refuse to follow those rules. Battles where love is not enough. Battles where success offers no advantage. Battles where even the strongest people discover the limits of their strength. And it is often in those moments, not at the height of success, but at the edge of heartbreak, that a person's true character becomes visible. Not the character the world created, the real one, the one that exists when the cameras leave, the one that remains when applause no longer matters, the one that answers the question every human being eventually faces: what is worth fighting for when there is nothing left to prove? For Cher, that question may be more relevant now than ever before. And the answer has been decades in the making.